Hi, everybody. I am back with another story. I love reading, and I hope you guys enjoy hearing the stories as much as I like saying them. I know that if you're in my first grade class, we already did this story. You guys loved reading about the farmer and what happened when the cows got a hold of a typewriter. Since this week's skill is about rereading a story, we are going to reread this one. I hope you enjoy the story as much as I do. While you're listening to the story, please think about our theme. What is this story about? Also, you're going to think about our overall topic for the week is how do people or groups work together? So, do the farm animals work together in this story? If you can't remember, maybe hearing it again will help you. If the animals work together, one of your choices on the choice board is to create a theme and a list of reasons or parts of the story that tell you what the theme is. So we're going to think about our theme, and is our theme proven by this story? So, do the animals work together to get what they want? And was that an effective way for them to get what they needed? So, without any further interruptions, I'm going to go ahead and get started on our very silly story, Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type by Doreen Cronin and illustrated by Betsy Lewin. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety clack, moo. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. You see on the barn door, there's a note. I know that this is a different element in my story because I see the little white piece of paper. It would have made it clearer if they had put a date at the top. But if you'll notice, it says, Dear Farmer Brown. That's an indication that it's a letter or a note to someone. So that's how we know that it's a note, not just part of the dialogue in the story. So here's what the cows typed. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. That might be a great word to Google. What does going on strike mean? They left a note on the barn door. Oh, look, we have another note. This one doesn't have a greeting, and it doesn't have the ending or the closure. This one just has a note like you might see on somebody's door that's for everyone to read. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. Who do you think that note is for? Is it for every person that comes to the farm? Who do you think it's from? No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety clack, moo. The next day, he got another note. Oh, they're back to writing the greetings again. Look, it says, Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. Wait a minute. Now we have a group of cows and we have a group of chickens. The cows all said, none of us is going to give you milk. What do you think the chickens might say? The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. Closed. No milk. No eggs. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety clack, moo. Wonder why they're typing now. What's going to happen next? Cows that type, hens on strike. Whoever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. We talked about what ultimatum means, but we haven't really used it a lot in the room. So remember, ultimatum means it's like a statement that says, this is what we need. And it has the assumption that something bad might happen if you don't cooperate. Also, ultimatum means do it or else. That's another way to say it. The cows held an emergency meeting. Wait a minute, emergency means a crisis. What is the crisis that's happening in our story? All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop. That means they were curious. But none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. What do you think the cows are going to say and the hens if the farmer says, give me milk and eggs or else? Do you think there's a good way to resolve this conflict? Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange or trade our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. Why do you think the farmer might have decided that taking away the typewriter might be fair? He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. This makes me think of somebody else I know. Who does it remind me of that said, if you want fair treatment, you have to ask for it in a way without causing physical harm to other people? Who did we talk about that said that? Who else demanded fair treatment that you can remember? I hope you think about that and think about how that story is the same as this one. You could use that as one of your choice board activities for your comprehension this week, comparing this story to a story that we read a long time ago about somebody else asking for fair treatment. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I do, and have a great day.